Hi, I'm Adam from Getaway Rentals, and thanks for looking at hiring our Toyota Hilux. So we'll go through the setup and pack down of this vehicle and all the other things inside the canopy and the operation of the vehicle. So in the front of the car we have our folder, and in the folder it has all the emergency numbers, frequently asked questions, more information about the vehicle, and also local maps and brochures for the local sites around the local area. Also the car, it has a reversing camera, it has Bluetooth connectivity so you can listen to all your music, it's automatic, and also the rear seats you have ISOFIX and also child restraints. The canopy has everything you need to have an enjoyable trip. So it's really easy to open. You just pull these handles open, turn them to clockwise direction, and then lift up. So in here we have our drawer systems. So in this drawer, that's simply, if you need to put food or anything while you're traveling, plenty of room for storage in there. You can see we have our table here, our chairs. So it's just simple, get them out, you undo the strap, and you can just grab the table out. So here we have our Angle fridge freezer. It's a 57 litre fridge freezer. You get in, just open the door, you have the freezer section which is here, and all this section for the fridge. Now if you want it to be a complete freezer, it's just a case of turning the dial up to number 5 and making it all the freezer. Or if you keep it at around number 3, you can then have this as a freezer and the rest as a fridge. Also we have lighting up along the top here, so you have lights when you're cooking or whatever you're doing outside. It is really handy. On this side of the vehicle we have more of our drawer system. So drawers, inside the drawers we have most of the cooking equipment. We have these. This is a table, so when you have your drawer out, it's just a simple case, you can pull that out, you can utilise that for a chopping board, a serving bench, things like our fold up washing tubs, our cutlery, some spare straps and things for tying firewood down. It's all found in here. And simply to pack this away, it's just a case of sliding that back on the top. Sliding that in. In this drawer, we have 3 bags. The rear bag is all your recovery equipment, your jack, all the tools and things that you may need, if you need them. We have here, these 2 have got our cooking equipment. So we have pots and pans, and here all our plates and all those sorts of cooking utensils. Also we have here, this is our gas burner, we use butane gas cans. We have our battery here, it's 170 amp hour, and also we have the control panel. So the control panel, it has our solar regulator up the top. So on our rooftop tent at the back we have our solar panel. It feeds into here, so you can see the current here. At the moment it's not a sunny day, so it's sitting at 13.3 volts. It will then feed the power into the battery. Also here you have a voltmeter for how much power is in the battery, so you can always keep an eye on that when you're out and about. Now we have here your sockets for plugging your cigarette plug into. You also have USB ports, and you also have some lights here as well, so you can turn the lights on when you arrive at camp. Also additional Anderson plug ports here as well, so if you need to run anything off those you can. But also with our setups we always have an inverter, so this is where you can plug your inverter into here, so you can charge 240 volt appliances, so things like your laptops, your drone batteries, all those sorts of things can be charged through these. We recommend doing that during daylight hours, just because the solar will be charging this battery at the same time. So our water tanks. So we have 2 of these, they're 30 litre water tanks. Really handy to use one at a time, so when one's empty, you still have 30 litres in the other one to utilise. Simple, all you do is turn the handle, and the water comes out down here to fill up. You undo the top, and you just use the hose. And there we go, just get that back up. It's always important to make sure that's done up really tight. On rough roads, we don't want to lose the lid, because dust and things can get inside there, and the water, you want to be able to drink that water. We're at the back of the vehicle now. So first thing you probably see is you have the spare tyre, and we have a bag on the back. Bag on the back, really handy if you've got extra rubbish. You don't want to put it in the canopy, of course. You can put it in here. But also in here we have a hose so you can refill your water tanks. Now it is really important when you refill the water tanks is to fill them through that top filler port, because otherwise you can actually put too much pressure on the tank if you fill them up from the outlet spout. So that's the hose is in there. It's got the fittings and everything so you can connect up to a tap. Also with the spare tyre, so if you need to utilise this spare tyre, we have two spare tyres. We have the one down here and this one up here. This one is the easiest to access. We have all our jack, which I'll show you where that is shortly. But this one, it's just a simple case. You unclick this, undo that, lift that off, and then you can see here, it's just a case of pull that off, here like so, wind that out, anti-clockwise, the tyre will come off. Really simple, and this is the tyre I'd go to first, just because you don't have to lay on the ground or anything to get that rear spare off. So I'd go for this one first. And all our tyres, they are all-terrain tyres to make sure, yeah, they're good for the conditions that we use. Now also in the back, we have a nice big storage box, perfect for putting firewood. If you wanted to take extra water, extra fuel, you could utilise it for that as well. So if you're looking at towing, these Toyota Hilux can tow 3.5 tonne GVM. With the tow bar, our connector plug, it's a 7-pin flat connector plug. If you need an adapter, we also have adapters. This is our hard-bodied rooftop tent. This is really easy to put up. We'll just go through the pack up and set up and pack up procedure. So in the glove box you have a key. This key, put in these little holes here, and you simply turn it anti-clockwise, and that will open up the mechanism. Then it's just a case of getting your hands up here and going like that. So you don't lose it, I always put this straight back in the glove box. Alright, so it's just a simple case now. Lift that up, lift it up there, and then you just push up. So once you get a little way up, it then goes up itself because it has the gas struts. You then come around to this side. We have this little clip that is on the side here. It's just a simple case, unclipping that. And this is used simply to hold the tent in when you're putting it back down. So once you've got the tent up like that, you would have got this out of the back of the canopy. This is the ladder. It's just a simple case of undoing that, putting it on here, put 2 hooks on the end, and just walking it out like that. That automatically locks in. Now it is important to get this on nice solid ground. Try to keep it even, because of course we want to make sure this is stable. Once that's locked in like that, that shouldn't go anywhere, and you should be right to then walk up the ladder to then do the second part of the rooftop tent. Really easy to put up once you're in here. Just a case of getting this far, push that up through here like this. It goes up there. Now down in the corners you have these little tiny holes that stick out. These will go in here like that. Likewise you do the same on this side. Go in like that. We do this on both sides. Same as last time, just undo that. Undo our clip. Slide that there and lock it into position. So up here on this beam we already have built-in lights. So it's just a case of, you can see here we have the USB. In the center console of the car we also have a battery pack. Now it's important we keep these charged during the day, so then when we get here to camp at night, it's just a simple case, plugging it in, and there's your light switch there. So we also have two modes. We have our insect mode, the yellow light, or then you have the white light. Okay, so this is what it should look like once you have it all set up. Before you get it, it will have a waterproof mattress protector put onto the mattress, and we give you a linen pack. So you have fitted sheet and then also a standard sheet as well. Now, one feature of this rooftop tent, which is unlike many others, is if you look up in the roof you actually have a see-through area. So when you're laying in bed at night, you can look up and you get a nice view of the stars. Okay, so for the pack down, all but the same. You simply undo that, pull it off, slide that back in, Velcro up into there so it's out of the way. Likewise, we'll do the same on this side. Okay, so once you've got your supporting poles out, pull this one out here, pull this one out here. So once you've taken this bar out, this just goes back in here, and then you're right to get out of the camper then. Okay, so now we're at the ladder stage. The ladder is really easy to undo. So at each run, you have these little buttons. Just a matter of pushing them up. And that will just lift off. Okay, so once you're out of the camper, you then wrap this strap around, and this will hold all the canvas in when you put it down. Bring it around. It's important, it goes on the inside of this bar. It's just a simple case. You have this strap here, that just pulls down. Now, I'd recommend pulling it down slowly because it lets all the air out as you pull it down slowly. And that's just a case of letting it come down. Now you will occasionally you have a bit of stuff sticking out here, some of the canvas. Just a matter of it, once it's down, you just tuck that in like that. Tuck it all in. Just go around. And that's important because especially in rainy conditions, if there's canvas sticking out, that it will not seal correctly. Once you've got it all down, we then get the key from the glove box. We then have to, these clips will go around here, clip that up like that. So both of the clips are the same. And once you've got it clipped on, you then get the key, turn it clockwise. That one the same, turn it clockwise. Now, you'll see that that will still come off, but this is locked onto this here, so it will go up a little bit, but it means that it will not open up completely. We're now to the front rooftop tent. So this one, really easy to do as well. You have two straps here. Generally they have a couple little knots in them. Just undo those. It's just a simple case of pressing the button in here and releasing that strap. Likewise, you undo those. Releasing that strap, and that will be free. Now this is held on by a zipper, so now we'll go around and undo the zipper. So the zipper's at the front here. Just a simple case, getting the zipper, going it around, getting the zipper here. Pulling it all the way around. Now you take this cover off, so just push that up over there like that. Likewise, you do the same on both sides. Flick that over. Come around here. Throw that over like that. Now on your ladder, you have two little knobs. The little knobs are just here. Just get those. Lift those up. And you just slide the ladder out there. And now it's just a simple case of getting the ladder, pulling it out until those little things lock in. You would have heard the click. And you just lift it up like so and fold it open like that. Okay, so now we've got the ladder in place. It's just a simple case. We'll go up. If the bed hasn't automatically came out, we'll just fold the bed out and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so in the tent, when it's folded out, inside you'll have these. These are really simple to use, and all you got to do is you'll find that there's these little holes. Just a case of putting those in, bending them back, you'll find the fly of the tent, and just hook that in there like so. The next one, do that, exact same thing, clicks in that little hole, and then you'll find the little eyelet hole, that will just go in like that. We'll do the same thing all the way around the hole. This is what you got to do to pack them down. It's really simple, just the same in reverse. Slide those out, slide these out. Now it is important not to lose these. And you see there is a bag in here to put all these in once you've taken them all out. Just a simple case of sliding it back in. So now that we've got all the poles put back in there from the windows, simply a case of, with this, just lift it up and fold it over like so. Now, like the other rear rooftop tent, you do this nice and slow so the air just goes out of it slowly. Otherwise it'll just make all go out to the sides. Sometimes it does it anyway, and then it's just a case of going around and tucking it in around the sides. Another good feature with this tent is there's plenty of room inside of here as well. So you can leave, you got a pillow, you got your sleeping bags, things like that you can leave up here. Because there is a bit of room. Don't leave too much in there because you won't be able to get the cover back on. But I've spent quite a lot of time using this type of rooftop tent, and I've always just left my pillow and my sleeping bag in there, so I didn't have to take it out each time. You got to remember with these, you just pull them up, slide it forward a little bit, and it's just a case of pushing that, and you'll hear that click. Now that's locked in the position, and we'll go around to this side. So now we've just got to throw this over, and then we'll zip it up. So once you've got the cover back over, it's just a simple case. Now we've got to do the zip back up around the outside, and then we do these straps. We've got to pass them over as well to do up on the other side. Little tip, when you're doing this, it is a lot easier to have the door open because you can stand on the side step, and it just gives you that little bit of extra height if you're not as tall. So also now we've got the zip past here, we can put these back in and pull them tight. Now you don't need to pull these too tight, just tight enough so that this doesn't flap all around everywhere. Otherwise it'll flap around in the wind and it'll wear holes into the cover. We don't want that to happen. Now we'll just continue doing the zip all the way around. And there we have it. Pack down is complete. Here we have our awnings. Really easy to set up awning on these vehicles. Simple case of getting the zips, undoing them to the ends. We open the cover up like so. We have these straps, 3 straps. Hold it in. Just a case of undoing the straps. Also our pegs. Undo these. It's just a case of rolling it out. Like so. Now, once we have it out, we can put it down like so. And then we'll get the poles from out under the awning. So to get these poles out, we bring them out the sides. So once we have the poles out, it's just a case of lifting this up. If you turn these anti-clockwise, they'll slide out further, and you have this rod at the end. This will go straight into a hole, which is on the end of here. And you slide that into the hole and bring that out until your canvas is nice and tight. Once that's nice and tight, it's just a case of turning that pole anti-clockwise, and now that side is locked in. Sorry, clockwise. So I'll slide this out. We'll find this hole, stick it in the hole, extend it out until the canvas is nice and tight, and then we'll turn that clockwise and that'll hold in nice and tight. Now it's a case of getting these legs, so there's legs in this part of the awning, they'll fold down, you just lock those in there, then come here and we do the same to this side, so you can see the pole is just in here. We'll just get this pole out. It'll go down. Now once we get that side down, we'll just adjust the height on this side. And then we just peg it down here like so. Lucky our ground's nice and soft, but you need to normally hammer those in. Now a hammer is located with our toolkit. And then it's just a case of pulling that up to secure that down. Now this is a really important thing to make sure when you get to camp and you put your awning up, to ensure that you have these put in. Because if it's not and you have a bit of wind, these can easily fly over top of the car, damage the awning, but also potentially the car, or hurt someone that is in the area as well. So this is really important. Always secure this down. And then if you know there's a really large storm coming, put the awning down. Okay, so the final part of putting up the tent, the awning, just a case of going around all the sides and velcroing these all on. They're really easy to do. First things, we undo these Velcro straps. We do these all the way around, so both sides undo those. It's always handy that once you undo them, you just let the Velcro lock back into itself so they don't flutter around and accidentally hook back on. We undo these from both sides, so it's just a case of letting it down, pull out your peg, and we can just leave those on there. Then it's a case of, we have the leg, lift it up, slide that back in, and then once it's slid in, turn it clockwise, and then I'll lock it in. And we just fold it back up in here, and that locks into that little groove. You can let this side down, and we do the same on this side here. So we will do the same thing, anti-clockwise, slide that back in, clockwise to tighten, and then we'll slide it into here, the groove, and we can let this side down. Now that we're already standing here, we will then undo this pole, the support bar that goes through here. Simple case of just turning it anti-clockwise, and then we can just slide it in. Once it's slid in, lock it off, and that locks it back in, and we can then slide it back in against the back of the canopy. Up in here, you can see it just slides into that groove. We'll do it down here. Now that we've put the support bars back in, these legs are done up. It's a case of just rolling this up. You just throw these in. They stay out of the way. It's always handy to roll it the way I'm doing it, so it sort of tucks back in on itself. Otherwise, if it's rolled the other way, when you undo it, it'll want to roll straight out onto your face. So it's always handy to do it that way. Just in case then once it's up there, you just put these back through here. It secures it in. Just a simple case of putting the cover over and zipping it up. Nice and easy. I normally just leave one zipper in the middle here. Another one here. Now we have our pegs. One thing never to forget, keep your pegs, and we'll just keep those in the glove box. Okay, so that's the car packed down complete. Now it's time to get away and hit the road.